Hello, welcome to another in our series of Intergraph CADWorks and Analysis Solutions videos featuring Caesar 2. This clip will review the hanger sizing capability found in Caesar 2. We have a simple system here with 3 hangers above 3 pump nozzles. We wish to size those springs properly for those pumps. We'll go into the existing model and develop the hanger data. We will see here that we have hangers on the elbows 170, 70, and 270 over the pumps A, B, and C. A is 300, B is 200, C is 100. We'll first look at the element 60 to 70, and there is our hanger at node 68. We will size an anvil spring here with a load variation maximum of 25%. 168 and 268 will also have springs. Those are the horizontal weld points on those 3 elbows above the pumps. Load cases are set automatically for spring sizing. The first 2 load cases, 1 and 2, set the spring. 3, 4, and 5 evaluate the system in the operating, installed, and expansion stress range conditions. In the output, we'll first take a look at the hanger tables with text. Here we'll see what the selections are, and we have 2 different sizes springs selected for these 3 points. At 68 we have a size 5, and the other 2 nodes we have a size 4, anvil spring, figure 82, which are their short range springs. They each move about 3 millimeters, and their hot loads center about 1100 newtons. They have a 5% load variation. Are these good springs? Well, we'll have to take a look at the load cases for the pump reactions. We'll look at the operating case for the pumps and springs. And we see 68 above 100 or C, 168 above 200 or B, and 268 above 300 or C. There seems to be a lot of load still on the pumps. These hangers are not carrying as much load as I would expect for proper pump operation. So now we're going to take a look at both the operating and installed loads on these pumps. And now looking at 68, again 1200 newtons, and at 100 we're pushing down 600 newtons cold and 1600 newtons hot. The springs need to carry more load to take the load off that pump. This is true with all 3 pump situations. How do we make the program do that? Well, we can automatically have the program remove some of the load off of the pump and place it hopefully up on the spring instead. We do that by releasing those pump nozzles only for the dead weight analysis used to calculate the operating load on the spring. So at node 68, back at the input, we're going to free the restraint of that node below it, the pump node, which is node 100. And we're going to free it only in the Y direction. Okay, at 168, that's node 200. We're going to release that in the Y direction. And at node 268, the anchor below that is node 300, and we're going to release that only in the Y direction. Again, this is only releasing it for that first load case, L1. It is buttoned up in every other load case. We can now go on to the analysis. And review those hangers. First, the hanger table. Now we have size 6 springs at all 3 locations. Those are bigger springs. We see that we still have the same motion of about 3 millimeters, but we have much larger load, about 1950 newtons on all 3 of them, and they're still short range 5% load variation springs. Let's look at the loads on the pumps and springs. Operating sustained restraint summary. Again, at node 68, now it's up to 1900 newtons hot, and look at that pump. We're pulling up in the cold case 88 and pushing down only 944 in the hot case. Much better selection. Now we can do this one other way. if you know exactly what load you want to carry on the spring, you can give that number directly to Caesar 2. Here we are at node 68. We'll do it just for this one. I'm going to say I want, in the operating case, 2397 newtons on my spring. That's the operating load in the spring. So after the initial analysis, you can dial in any load you want. So now when I go to the output processor, look at the operating sustained restraint summary. I see node 68. There it is, 2397 in the operating case. And look at that load on the pump. Nice and even between the two of them. Hanger table with text. There it is, hot load 2397. It's a size 7 spring now. So you can get the numbers you want out of Caesar 2. And there you have it.
Thank you for sharing your time with us. For Caesar 2 news, free webinars, or success stories, Google Caesar Insider Blog.